breath.
I'm not kissing your Cheeto breath. That's why I said you can kiss my cheek. Why you gotta be like that? You don't like my cheeks?
I do like your cheeks, but I don't want your cheeks.
You can kiss my cheek?
Yes, but I don't want your cheeks.
Kiss my cheek.
No, I don't
Kiss my cheek. Say it. Kiss my cheek. Mind your business. Alright. Before we get started.
Can we get into the scout though?
Clearly the spotlight is on both of us, but apparently it's just on her.
Period.
Before we get started, like I was trying to say, if I was rudely interrupted. Oh wait, how they do it? Oh, they putting the phone on. Yeah, it is. Terroana tequila. Gifted by this one right here. It was a surprise gift. She got it for me today. I had it before, but I just wanted to take a shot on camera really quick. See if I'll open it quick. Oh, okay, cool. That's the one.
That's not the one. That's
just the one. It is the one.
That stinks. Next, I'm getting you Casamigos. I'm getting you Casamigos next.
So, the topic of today is...
We're on a serious note today, guys.
No more sugar for you.
I haven't. Oh, I did have a little bit. There's only one fruit roll up.
The topic is men versus women.
Him versus I.
But not the way you think. It's more so like we gotta stop bashing each other. Basically, what my point is. I see a lot of, on social media. Most recent one was if you send a guy to, the grocery store, his retardness or his dumbness is gonna be shown or whatever the case is. I disagree with that because I can go to the grocery store and make a list before I even go, probably an hour before, just to make sure, and I won't forget. Now, there's times where everybody can agree with this, where you go and you're hungry and you make a list still, and you don't get anything on that list. You just got stuff that you saw, like, ooh, I want that. Yeah. So, me too. Everybody can agree, but it's pretty stuff like that. So let's start with, it's kind of heavy. You want to start with that one? Yeah. Or you want to do something else?
Go back.
No.
Oh. Too fast.
That was it.
Yeah, that one. We're going to say that one. I like that one.
Start with that?
Yes, sir.
All right. This says, Black men need to learn how to open up and communicate to our Black women. I don't disagree. I don't disagree at all. However, as a Black man myself, you're not taught to...
I'm sorry.
You're not taught to open up. You're supposed to just take it on the chin and keep it pushing. I was myself, even when I got older. You're not supposed to cry, this, that, and the third. So you're going through something, suck it up. You'll be all right. But when we get into relationships and you don't want to open up, that's why. And then it frustrates your partner. Why you don't tell me anything? You never open up. How do I know what you're feeling? But in turn, women want us to read minds when they don't even open up, really. So, give me that. I feel like that's hypocritical. But to stay on topic, that ultimately stems, from that, from our past, our upbringing, and stuff like that, or maybe not even our parents raising us, just our surroundings. I was raised by a lot of older people, so really speaking up really wasn't too keen in our house. We just had to subside all of our emotions and just take it. As far as the women go, what do y'all feel about men communicating or being attacked because we don't communicate?
As far as opening up, I feel like a lot of men, as well as you say women, a lot of men want women to be mind readers as well. So like, there's a lot of men who will feel something, and then when they get into an argument with their girl, they're like, oh, well, you should have known this was the case, and you should have known this, and you should have known that. How was I supposed to know that? Tell me.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm not a gypsy. I am not a psychic. Jesus did not bless me with those powers.
I have those powers. I mean, tell them, is it true?
Nah, it is true though. Anyway, but yeah, but as a woman, I can say that a lot of it is our fault as well, because we want y'all to open up, but then we break y'all down faster than we want y'all to open up. So
on top of that, I feel like when it comes to, like you said, arguments, both genders mix words. Before we get disrespectful, we mix words. Both men and women do. I'm a culprit of it. I've been extremely disrespectful, but I'm not gonna, like, I don't want you to think, oh, he's just being biased. No, I don't say anything until it's said to me. I respond. I react. I'm not the initiator for arguments. I don't like arguing. And before we get to that, my definition of arguing is just being tit for tat, just spitting hurtful things at a person, opposed to actually communicating. I can communicate without being disrespectful. She can too. But yes, we twist words. We'll say one thing like, oh, so basically you're saying no. Then no, basically, I'm telling you what I'm saying. I personally am blunt, so I mean she is too, but I like to get to it. If you're taking too long to get to the point, I'm like, all right, you're about to lose me, and you just frustrated me, and now I don't even care. By the time you get to your point, my mind is elsewhere. That's the problem I have. I still deal with today. Do you have anything to add to that? Do you feel like women twist up words when it comes to speaking to?
Yeah, I've done it.
They tell you one thing, and you're
and
like, oh, so
like,
you're telling
so
me.
what you're really trying to say is, I'm like, what you're really trying to say is, what I heard was, I've said that to you before. What I heard was, and it'd be the complete opposite of what was really said.
Y'all know those old movies, like, I don't know whether it's Japanese or Chinese, not trying to be racist, but I don't know. The karate movies from back then, their mouth was moving one way, and then the audience, you know, who needs to translate or whatever, is hearing something obviously totally different. I feel like that's what they do. We'll say something, so basically you're telling me, where did you get that from? How did you make that in your own head? That's why I started using the word delusional. There was somebody who I really thought was delusional, but, you know, whatever. While you're watching this video, if you have any examples of anything that we're talking about, drop it
in the comments below.
This is good. We can do that. Okay, the next topic is subtopic. Why aren't marriages lasting like our grandparents' generation? That's a good one. You can start. I ain't gotta start every time.
Yeah, that one is a good one. I feel like, for starters, back then it wasn't as much open availability as it is today. Now it's like social media and cell phones and all this other stuff that you can connect and reconnect with. Our grandparents was meeting on the streets, bro.
Facts.
They was meeting on the streets. Like, there was no way. If you lost contact with somebody, you lost contact unless you saw them in the streets.
Word of mouth was our text back then. Well, I mean, was the text back then.
Now, if you lose contact with someone, you can easily search them up like that. Contact them, DM them.
Oh, she get blocked.
My block is
I don't block people.
I block people with the quickness. Okay, so it's like back then it wasn't as much as it is today. That's for starters. Secondly, women, for instance, they didn't have as many opportunities as men. So it was like, if I'm like, okay, well, he's doing this, it wasn't like, okay, I'm gonna go find me a new man. It was like, okay, well, I just gotta stick it out. Now you do something, they're like, all right, you gotta go. Bye.
It's like back then, at least from what you're saying, I can pick up, they were less expendable as they are now. People, you know, expendable means once you're done with something, like she said, you're done with it. Like, you know, you're replaceable, basically is what I'm trying to say. I wouldn't say you necessarily had to stick it out. Divorce definitely was a thing, but it just wasn't as common.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Because I'm pretty sure our grandparents or their grandparents was like, listen, you're gonna keep cheating on me, this ain't gonna work, because I didn't sign up for this. Nobody would. I mean, yeah, of course I know people that have been cheated on thousands of times and are still together. That's just, you know, some people have issues, some people don't know how to communicate as to why they're cheating. Or that don't even have to be the issue. It could be financially, it could be internal. Some people deal with internal demons that they're not ready to face, or they don't know how to communicate it, I guess. But yeah, like she was saying, like today, if something goes wrong, it's like, on to the next block.
But
I'm gonna go to this club or this, that, and third, or I'm just going on social media and find somebody gonna want me. That's the mentality that they have.
Today, I feel like sometimes, I'm not saying all the time, there is some situations where it's just the littlest thing that they'd be like, all right, you gotta go. Something very small as a mustard seed, that is just like, okay. Back then, I feel like it was the big stuff.
It was.
So.
Hey, if there's older couples out there that have, you know, the stories from before we even thought of, correct us. Let us know. How was it back then? Because I speak for my own grandparents, not to put, you know, everything out there, but they've been through some stuff, but they stuck it out. Hello, I'm here. It worked out. But yeah, I feel like today it's just too easy. But then again, it makes it so hard for like our kids or our grandkids to like look up to really anybody. Because if they see it so easy, they're not going to be worried about getting married. They're not going to be worried about a ring, any type of solidity in a relationship, or even friends. The friends do one thing. Yo, my friends list is of a small sort.
I count on my hands how many friends I got.
I can count on one hand.
I can too.
As far okay, let's narrow it down. I have multiple people that I'm cool with.
I bet.
But as far as like friends, I can call if I need something or something's wrong. I just need to vent. You met one of them. Actually, two of them. So one of them is in Florida, one is in Chicago, one is in Georgia. A couple are in Georgia, but it's still one hand. How it was back then, you know, your parents telling you they're not your friend, they're not your real friend. It's like, yo, you just want me to be bored in the house.
No.
That's what it is. And they were really telling us, yo, we see what you don't see.
Bro, I wish I would have listened. There's some things that could have been prevented if I would have just listened.
Because think about it, they're the same parents that's telling you, no, just wash the dishes. You're not going outside to the park. You're gonna tell me my friends are not my friends, so I could have an excuse to go wash those dishes that you want to wash?
Psych.
I'm gonna go with my boys and go ride a bike and go play in the dirt. I'm not gonna wash the dishes. I'm gonna go have fun.
True.
But now, one false move, it's over with. But even though I'm only 25, like I said, I was raised by older people, and I know kind of how, I have an idea. I felt like I lived this life already. I have an old soul, and she does too. So it's like our mentality isn't of today's era. That's why we're making this video. We don't agree with a lot of stuff that's going on today at all. More so for the future. So it's not just about us. It's about the kids that will be brought into the future, and for the, so on and so forth.
I feel like kids for the future that are born to parents of this generation are screwed.
Yeah, I agree. Like, okay, my niece and nephew, one is 11, one is 9. They are brought up, to me, perfectly. I watch them every day growing up, and I applaud my sister and my brother-in-law raising them. They homeschool them, and since then, I mean, it hasn't really been much of a change in their personality. It's just been a change in their education. We know that's a different topic, but as far as like all the bad stuff that we think is bad, they know about it. They're not sheltered by any means. They're aware, but they know what's right and what's wrong. So as long as, the kids that are going to be brought up soon or in the distant future are coachable, teachable, there should be no problems. That's a good one. You want to do that next or something else?
That now.
Oh, okay.
That now.
Okay. Can a male accept the same hurt that he put a female through?
Nope, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Well, let's hear it, because I got something for you.
Okay, that's fine. Your opinion is your opinion. But I'm going to say no, because a guy could cheat on a girl. He could have a baby on the girl. He could do all this other stuff. But the moment sis have a conversation with a dude he don't like, oh, you a hoe, you this, do that. Your feelings are hurt. But we stuck it out. And we stayed there. And we still held you down, even after the fact. But you ready to blow the town up. We have one conversation, one high, one by, one high. Exactly. So I say no. Y'all can't dish out what y'all can't take what y'all dish out.
I'm gonna have to disagree. I know why she's saying that, though. I definitely understand 100%. However, the relationship I was in before this beautiful individual right here was toxic. The definition of toxic, okay? We don't say names on here.
I'm gonna keep my
So, it's open. We just as long as there's no names. For example, I ended up meeting someone somewhere, and she already had like her life where she wanted it to be in a way, right? Had kids, had a dude, had a career started. Cool. In my mind, I'm thinking, all right, cool, whatever. Boy, was I wrong.
Little do you know.
So basically, get down to the nitty gritty. I was cheated on multiple times. I don't think physically, but I know for a fact emotionally. Probably, but I don't have proof, so I'm not gonna accuse anybody of anything. And it was repetitive, right? So I was like, we sat down in the car, and I was like, look, the stuff that I'm dealing with now, you couldn't possibly deal with. You want to know how I know? She just said it. She had the kids. She had the other dude that she was still talking to, which was their father. She was still showing attention. She didn't keep it, just cordial. She didn't keep it as, oh, you're there for the kids. No. Anytime he came for the kids or it was a conversation about the kids, the conversation would go left. So if I were to do that, and you ladies can attest to it, if a guy does that to the girl, they're not going to be able to handle that. They're going to be like, yo, I'm out. And so many times I said that, but I was still there.
Who said it too?
But, like I said, I'm old school, so I know how it feels to be left alone. I know how it feels to feel alone and be given up on. So that's my mentality of, when it comes to relationships. I'm not going to leave her for nothing. Like, even though those were multiple situations of, like, the same thing, some were small, some were massive, and I still stayed. It was one dose of disrespect that I just refused to tolerate, that I won't speak about. But that was the last straw. So, but for my mentality, I don't think females can deal with what guys deal with. because we work to keep y'all happy. I know that when you're in a relationship, you're supposed to be happy on your own. The other person is just supposed to add to it, I guess. But at the end of the day, a lot of guys won't admit this, but we really aim to keep women happy.
Some of them.
The good ones.
Yeah.
Some of us are selfish. It's like, oh, what can you do for me? I'm buying you this, I'm buying you that, so you gotta do all of this for me. That's not how it works. It's mutual. Like I just told you. It's the little things that count. She just surprised me with this. I didn't really ask her for this. I told her I wanted it. She knows I wanted it. I didn't say, hey, can you go pick this up? She pulled up with it. That's us. It's a little stuff like that that matter. That will weigh heavy on the person's heart if they care. So, yeah, she said she doesn't think that they can. I feel like women can't deal with what guys deal with. Yeah, we just talking about this. Have you ever noticed that when the relationship is only at stake when the female is unhappy? I think that is true because, like I said, even though she was right, there are women out there that will take 1,000 bullets to the back and still be breathing just as strong as if when they didn't get shot. But there are guys who just want to keep their woman happy. They'll deal with anything. They'll deal with the lies and manipulation. And this isn't a shot, but women are the queens, the kings of manipulation. And I don't mean the blatant manipulation. I mean the subtle manipulation. Stuff that you don't really realize until you go to bed. You wake up like, oh, wait a minute, she got one over on me. Women have to stay happy because they're quick to leave out the door. Some of them. As a matter of fact, most of them. We got to be honest, right? Yeah, most of them, in my opinion, are quick to leave. Because they're like, I'm not going to be stupid. I'm not going to get you this. I'm not going to do this, that, and the third. You're probably doing this, that, and the third. And then they'll hold it against you. Women like to hold grudges. Some men do too, but it's more so a women thing. One incident can happen 6 months ago. Something happened 9 months down the line, and that 9-month incident is going to bring them back to that first one. That's just how it works. There are some women that can come to a conclusion and y'all can, settle it and like really settle it. I can't talk to it. But then there are some who just like, you know what? All right, cool, you got it, we're good. And they give you a kiss, and boom. And it's still in the back of their head. But yes, I feel like the women have to stay happy in order for the relationship to be happy, because it's like what they say goes. Yeah, we're man. We may lead and take the role of provider and protector and this, that, and the third. But at the end of the day, we technically still have somebody to answer to. Not as like they're the boss or anything like that. It's just,
I'm the boss.
It's just, you kind of want to. You know what I mean? Some of you guys, my real guys, can understand where I'm coming from. Regardless what the situation is, you want to make sure they're happy, because if you care about them, if they're not happy, you're not happy.
Period. Happy life, happy life.
I don't agree with that.
But you just said it.
No. What I'm saying is, yes, y'all have to be happy, but it doesn't mean that I have to live a miserable life because you're not happy. It doesn't have to be that way. That's just kind of how it works sometimes.
I'm not happy enough to know this shit over. Including that shit.
Alright. You don't have anything to add to that?
I just feel like there are a lot of guys who, no matter what the girl does, they still be like, okay, you're still not doing enough. And the relationship is over. And some guys feel like even if they got it made, the relationship is over. So a lot of times, the guy is the reason why the relationship is over. Not saying that the relationship is over because he wanted it to be over. What I'm saying is, a lot of times the relationship is over because the guy did some dumb stuff on a repetitive level to where it's like, okay, what's the point? What's the point of us doing this?
Right.
Because at this point, you're going to keep doing it. And I'm going to keep taking these same gunshot wounds in the same exact spot.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no point of us doing this.
Pouring alcohol over it.
Exactly, over the same wound.
Mm-hmm.
You're opening it and opening it after it already tries to heal multiple times.
Oh.
So therefore, I feel like if a guy wants to be repetitive, he's making his own bed to be single. At that point, like, you're just adding the sheets onto the single bed.
Mm-hmm.
And once she's not happy and she's like, okay, it's over, you made your bed, now you gotta lay in it.
No cushion, straight wood.
Exactly. Not even wood, concrete.
Oh, that's jail talk.
Like, it's just honest truth. So saying that the relationship is only at stake when the woman is not happy, most of the time the woman is not happy because of him. Because guys do things, and sometimes a lot of guys are psychological liars. So they'll lie and believe their own lie.
You mean pathological?
That.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, you know what I meant. Pathological liars. So, like, they'll lie and be like, no, it never happened. And they'll start believing their own lies. So when they keep doing it, it's like, I never did it. So that means...
It's the game. Yeah.
So that means she got to constantly keep saying the same things. So it's like, I seen a post like that too. It was like, when a girl stops arguing with you, she no longer cares.
I seen the same thing, but it's about a guy. It was like, when he stops arguing, he's done. It was a long thing. If I find it out, I'll post it. But yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and it's like being repetitive with the same situations, repeating yourself, saying the same things with the same situations. It gets to the point where it's like, what's the point?
Do you even care anymore?
Exactly. So I mean, I feel like a lot of women are happy with their relationships. They're happy with their guys in the beginning, but the moment they start doing dumb stuff and it becomes repetitive, or either what they do keeps building up. So like, they do one thing and then they try to get over it, and he does something 3 times worse, and then they try to get over it, and then he does something 5 times worse, and then they try to get over it. So it's like, it's either you're repetitive or you just keep building it up. And women, we can take a lot, but everybody has their breaking point. So
I agree. We both are saying, like I was talking to Brandon yesterday about we was talking about something. I think we was talking about working out. When we went to the gym.
Oh.
Just a different method that we took. Me and her were basically going to the same destination, just different routes.